Hey, this is Jill Simonello with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and today I have the Volvo Recharge twins behind me. So I'm like, I need to look to make sure. This is the Volvo C40 and this is the Volvo XC40, and they're built on the same platform. They basically have the same horsepower, which is about 402, but somebody might be looking at these vehicles and they're trying to decide which one they want. So what we want to do in today's review is we just want to talk about some driving impressions, and then we want to show you the big difference, and there's really only one between these two vehicles. So let's take a closer look right now.
Yeah, so for starters, it's the same name, right? Except for an X.
It is.
So same vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, so what's the difference there, Jill? And why do you not even need braking? I just stopped. No brakes. You don't need park, and you get in the seat and it turns on. That's
yeah,
the,
yeah.
thing.
Welcome to EV driving, my friend.
That's weird.
It is a little bit weird if you're not used to the EV thing, but this has standard, very aggressive,
yes,
one pedal driving. And basically, as soon as you lift your foot off the accelerator pedal, it is a hard brake. So when we were driving some of the EVs yesterday, we had the Kia, Hyundai, and Genesis EVs in another video, which they'll link somewhere up there. But we noticed that there was one pedal braking, but it wasn't the iPedal system, but it wasn't as aggressive. And there were some instances where you wouldn't come to a complete stop. But when I drove this for the press preview, I didn't find an instance where this wouldn't come to a complete stop.
I've been driving, maybe 2 miles, haven't used the brakes yet.
Yeah.
And I've gone to 2 stop signs.
Yeah, and so we've gone downhill, we've gone around corners, and
no California stops.
No California.
I did stop.
He came to a complete stop. I will testify.
Somebody blew a stop sign this morning, just saying.
Somebody did not blow a stop sign this morning. I actually stop at stop signs. And
okay.
When I'm driving a manual transmission, I always put that puppy in first gear.
Oh, you're such an amazing driver.
I am.
XC40, C40?
Yes. So back to the naming convention. So yeah, the XC40 is going to be the more SUV-like upright stanced vehicle, and so
they're really in Wisconsin. They're up late last night. Just go with it.
Somebody was up late last night. But so more of an upright stance, which means that you have more a cargo area, frankly. So the C40 is a coupe-like design. I don't know if that's actually what the C stands for, but that's how I kind of tell the difference, is you've got more of a coupe-like design on this vehicle. So we're in the C40 right now.
Oh, thank God you clarified. I was like trying to figure out which one we're in. No, legit, I'm like, look, Volvo and me aren't on a first name basis a lot of times, all right? So I was trying to figure this out.
Okay, so we are in the C40, and one of the big ways that you can tell is your rear view out the rear window.
Oh, look at that.
It's a little bit squished. So, that is definitely one of the pain points for this vehicle, is your rear view is going to be limited. The other pain point is...
Holy cow, I can't see diddly.
Bo diddly.
I need the camera. Why doesn't it have the camera here, Jill?
It does not have the camera.
If I had the camera, I don't care about the view. And I don't need brakes. I'm just stopping anyways. I'm downhill stopping.
Yeah, he's downhill stopping.
That's freaking ridiculous.
Stop.
And so why
it's not freaking ridiculous. It's freaking awesome.
But why don't I have a digital camera? That's a mesh.
Okay, so that is his pain point. So the rear view is going to be slightly limited, and the other thing is your cargo capacity is going to be a little bit more limited, and then you will also during the press preview, I put Tommy from TFL in the back seat. He didn't fit very well, and he basically had to kind of do one of those like sideways moves to get in, and then like the top of his head was basically touching the roof liner, and it was like he did not look comfortable. So somebody my size can fit back there just fine, but somebody who is a little bit taller is going to definitely have some headroom issues. So so that's kind of like the primary differences. They, the names are similar, they're built on the same platform, but this is going to be the coupe, so the C40, the coupe design, and then you have the XC, which is their more SUV-like vehicle, but both are all electric. So what do you think of this vehicle so far?
I think it's weird.
But you're EV curious.
I am EV curious. I like the braking is interesting. I don't think I could use, I don't have to go through as many brakes, which is nice, you know. Benefit of having EV, you don't go through as many brakes. It is fast when you want it to be fast, like an EV should be, but I can drive normally like I normally drive, and it feels fine. I don't feel like I need to make any concessions. On some EVs, I feel like you gotta really figure out how to drive them so different. The only thing different with this is the slowing down braking. The handling's fine, the road noise is fine, the comfort's fine, the seats are nice. Yeah,
you should definitely check out my first drive review. I really like the C40. For me, somebody who lives in the city, who is a little bit more on the aggressive side of the driving spectrum, somebody can attest to that. I think this is a fun, capable, comfortable drive. And I really liked it. There were a lot of twisty bits on the first drive, and I don't think I touched the brakes once.
Yep. All right, we should go switch cars.
Yep.
And that way we get more from Mario Simpinello.
Yep.
And we get more from me. But I would say with this is really a two-person city car. Those rear seats, I don't see much use. Maybe a small, young kids, maybe. But rear spacing car seats would be a problem with this. You can't have infants.
I think you could have two car seats back there, no problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, says
boosters,
the person who doesn't have kids.
Booster seats for sure. One rear-facing car seat, probably behind you if you move the seat up as far, your situation. But it's fine. This to me is a good. It's nice. It's better than sitting down in a small sedan or something. Sitting a little bit higher, you get the little more cargo room, and you get that stopping for no freaking reason.
Stopping because you took your foot off the accelerator because
So
you meant to do
weird.
that.
That's so weird.
It's cool. It's cool. We need to change your language. All right, so we are now in the Volvo XC40, and this is the SUV version, as I was saying in the previous segment. And you may have noticed there's still no lack of fun here. This does have 402 horsepower, which is the same as the C40, and it also has the regenerative braking. But yeah, I didn't use it there because I was having a little fun. But this has a really nice and peppy acceleration. It handles really well, and when you enable the one pedal driving, so we didn't point this out in the last segment, but when pedal driving, you can turn that on or off, so you can have a more normal feel if you want it, but then you have the aggressive one pedal driving, should you choose to use it. I tend to like it because I do. So, just because I said so.
Well, that is a deep explanation.
Deep thoughts with Jill.
Yes, exactly.
I do. But I actually really like the way this handles as well. This is the first time I've driven and I should clarify, this is the Volvo XC40 Recharge. They're both called Recharge models because those are the all-electric versions of these vehicles, whereas the C40 is only electric. This one also has a gasoline engine option. So, yeah, back to the driving impression. I feel like these drive very similarly, but again, your difference is going to be in the back seat. This is going to be your more family-oriented vehicle because okay, person with kids, take a look back there and tell me, do you think car seats and things like that are going to fit back here?
Well, I mean, I could fit Andre the Giant behind your seating position, but I think, yeah, kids. This is much better for kids. Much better for actually teenagers. There's better headroom. I could see as adults of not the NBA player size doing well back there and having plenty of room. It is interesting when you look from the outside. You definitely get that more squared off look. I don't know. I like this 40 better, the C40 better with the coupe like look on it. But this is just more practical.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to take a look at the actual cargo spaces following this segment. So it'll give you a little bit more of a better view of that. I mean, we can yammer on and on. literally can yammer on and on and on for hours, actually.
So this is $60,000 for this, right? That's what I looked at on the sheet.
Yeah.
Did you happen to look at this?
I didn't.
Okay.
I did not. I know the price, but it's not in my coffee-addled brain or coffee-less addled brain at the moment. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll ask the Google.
You'll Google that.
I'll Google.
I'm drinking decaf these days.
Is it C40?
C40 Recharge.
Did you
Volvo
Recharge? Okay. Did you sink my battleship?
I did, in fact.
Let's see. C40 Recharge is $58,750.
And I will say the C40 is mono spec. So basically, I think the only option you can get on that vehicle is the color.
Okay, so I'm gonna just Google the same thing. So
you said 58.
So the XC40 starts. This one starts
Recharge. Put Recharge.
I did.
Okay.
So 22 XC40 Recharge starting MSRP at $55,300.
So this is also going to be a little less expensive. Okay.
That's interesting. Yeah, I would have thought this one would be more expensive.
I mean, that one definitely has a sportier feel to it. The interior, I like the interior of this, but the interior of that it definitely looks a little bit more sporty, and I love the blue interior on that. I don't know if you noticed that at all, but I loved the blue carpets. I love that blue interior.
Felt very Smurf-like to me.
It's very Smurfy.
Yeah, Smurfy day. So yeah, it's interesting. I would think, again, it's so confusing for consumers though. Same price point, basically, both vehicles, and you really don't have, the only difference you have is in the rear seats.
It is. I think that is going to be the key difference between the two vehicles. Just a couple of other things I want to point out. This is incredibly tech forward. So it is one of those vehicles that you sit in and you have the key on your person and it starts. There is no stop start button in this vehicle. So
you know what's impressive about that is that my butt is bigger than your butt, and it still recognized your butt in the seat to turn on.
It did, in fact, recognize my 95-pound butt.
Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah. So watch your kids. They may steal your car. Yeah,
they will be able to sit in here and it will turn on if they can reach the pedals. But no, so I think that's interesting. Both have the option to put a full, like a map in your digital cluster behind the wheel. I think that looks really good. I actually prefer that because I want to put my Apple CarPlay or, like music on the center stack area. This has the Google operating system, so Google Assistant, Google Play, Google Store, and so both of those, both of the vehicles have that. So that we've seen that on the Hummer EV and the Silverado ZR2, the Denali Ultimate, and the GMC AT4X that we've driven recently. So we've played around with the Google operating system a little bit, and I think it works pretty well. And this okay, I gotta do this before we go look at that cargo area.
Excuse me.
I gotta do this. Hey Google, tell me a joke.
Here's a holiday joke. What's a snowman's favorite kind of lettuce? Iceberg.
No.
Come on.
Oh.
In addition to giving you the punchline, it has a pooch. It's got sound effects. That amuses me. I could probably amuse myself for hours. Thank goodness we're not driving this back to Chicago.
Yes, thank goodness. All right, let's get to the cargo area.
All right.
Wrap this baby up before I gotta...
Oh, please, whatever. You like me and you enjoy spending time with me.
I guess, if I have to.
And you kind of do. Alright, so you've seen our driving impressions for the C40 as well as the XC40, and I just want to physically show you the difference here. So this is the cargo space. This is going to be about 14.6 cubic feet of cargo volume, and yeah, in addition to like hitting my head on this right here, this is going to be a problem because of this right here. This sloping line is going to shave off about 2 cubic feet of cargo volume between the two vehicles. So if you need to put some more upright stuff in your vehicle, this could be a breaking point for you. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is going to be this right here. This is what we talk about when we're talking about the seat. This is the coupe or coupe-like design. And what that does is it's gonna hit your head when you, like, I can get in almost okay, but I'm brushing my head. But as you can see, somebody who's gonna be taller than I am is gonna have a problem with this rear sloping roofline. So somebody who's 10-year-old, a kid, you know, they're gonna have no problem fitting back here, but somebody like Tommy from TFL, that's going to be a huge problem. So those are the two things that are really going to be different. We're also going to show the back of the XC40 as well, so you can kind of have them in your head as a comparison. So let's go over there and look at that too. Okay, so we just looked at the cargo space of the C40. Now we are looking at the XC40, and as you can see, there is a little bit more of height here. So, all right, I still have this thing, but it didn't hit me in the head as quickly as the C40 one did. But you can stack some taller things in here because there's about 2 extra cubic feet of cargo volume in the back of the XC40 versus the C40. And yeah, that's you can fit 1 extra Jill back here. Yeah.
Can you fit any race cars back here?
I know. Unfortunately, we were at a racetrack today filming, and yeah. Sorry about that. So again, you don't have that coupe-like slope to the rear roofline, and that means, look at my clearance. And I have a lot of headroom to get in and out, and I don't feel like I would be cramped back here. And I bet Tommy from TFL, too bad he's not here, could sit back here and would look like he has a lot more headroom than he did in the C40. All right, as you can see, the big difference between the C40 and the XC40 is going to be the cargo area and the back seat. Because essentially, same horsepower, 402, and I'm not sure if we mentioned it, but the same amount of range, which is between 223 and 226 miles. So you've got the same power, the same range, same platform, nearly close looks, but it's that coupe-like styling that is going to cause the big differences. So I actually really like the C40 the best. That's going to be my favorite. Did you have a favorite?
Yeah, I like the C40 the best for 2 people.
Okay.
I think this is much better for a family ride. 4 people, this fits a lot better. 2 people, coupe, yeah, all day. C40 I think was great.
All right, so that's it. That's what we've got this week. The Volvo XC40 versus the C40. Thanks for watching, and we will see you down the road.